What's up, everybody? This is your boy Fareed Rashad, and welcome to Keep It Sharp with Fareed Rashad. It's been a minute, y'all. How y'all doing? Let's talk about it. First of all, I got a question. Where did all these clipper companies come from? There is a lot of clippers out here today in 2026. Have you guys noticed that? I'm sure you have. Back when I was coming up, it was Andes and it was Wall. There was a company called Conair, which I think is a sister company to Babyliss. So shout out to Babyliss. But we got other companies coming up. So I picked up a pair of clippers a few days ago by a company by the name of VGR. I believe it stands for Voyager. I brought a set. I can't remember the model number, but they're like a aqua color, almost like a greenish blue color with black. And I had to say, man, I'm impressed with them bad boys. They cut quiet. They strong. And I got the cutter, I got the trimmer, and I got the shaver and all the guards. And I got the brush, cords. And we talking about good quality, man. I'm talking about these clippers run strong. They cut nice. They're sharp. And I think I paid about $100. I promise you, I paid $100 for them bad boys. So shout out to Voyager, VGR. Those are dope clippers. And I know there's other brands out there, but let's talk about some of the prices of some of these clippers. Now we know that, a good pair of cordless Andes going to probably run you anywhere from $150 to $300. I'm sure Wall is around the same price range. These Instincts made by, I believe, Gamma. I believe it's Gamma. If I got it wrong, I'm sorry, guys. Instincts. Them Instincts is up there, bro. I think them things are like $250, $275 per clipper. I think it's a little pricey. I had a pair of Instincts before, and they cut phenomenal. And they have what I believe is called a vector motor in them. I don't see myself in 2026 spending any more than $200 on a set of clippers. It just, for me, it just don't make sense. So what I decided to do, I went on Amazon and I just was looking at some of the clippers, since Amazon pretty much carry all brands of different things, and I decided to type in clippers, see what I come up with. So I seen the VGRs. I seen a couple other brands, I believe Serpent or something like that. Supreme, I believe, is another one. And I was actually surprised to see the pricing, and even clippers with the Vector motors. The Vector motor, I believe I was saying it right. These clippers were priced pretty reasonable. So I said, why not? I took a leap of faith. I said, well, what can I lose spending $100 on 3 clippers? I said, if I can get the trimmer, the clipper, and the shaver for $100, why not? So when I got them, I was excited to try them out. And the first haircut I did came out really nice. And I was happy about it. I was happy I did that. And I'm going to try a couple other brands that are in the same price range, and just to see what I come with, because I done cut with Andes, I done cut with Walls for years, almost my whole barber life. And I love the way they cut, but for some reason, a lot of these clippers break down, especially my Andes, they just break down too easy. So I decided not to buy anymore. I just can't do it. I can't do the $200, $300 clipper and and they break, and I had to come out of another pocket for another $200-300. Sometimes, guys, I just don't have it. So I'm not saying I don't want people to think I'm one of those barbers that make all this money and I can buy all these expensive clippers. And I know a lot of times people use the clippers as an excuse to raise their prices, and it's just not the case. So thank you for all the cheap clipper companies making these dope clippers. How many people went to the CT show this year? I haven't been to the CT show since I believe 2017 was the last time. Living down here in Tampa, Florida. Either I don't have the funds at the time, or I had made plans to go that far up north. But hopefully next year I'll get to go. So shout out to me for wanting to go to the CT show and couldn't make it. Oh man. So usually I do a podcast, we're on video, but I'm just doing audio for the next couple episodes, so if anybody just want to be a guest on one of my podcasts, just drop me a DM or something, send it to at Unmastered Barber, or send it to Keep It Sharp here on YouTube, and let's talk about some stuff. Another thing, I know we talk about pricing a lot, and we talk about booth rent and stuff like that, but I guess, and with all the changes coming in, the barber industry, as far as, there's more barbers going into suites, and people are talking about, more shops going into the commission model. Which one works best for you? Check, hit me, drop me a line, let me know which one works best for you. What are some of the things you want to talk about? I'm going in my 40th year as a licensed barber. I've been cutting almost 48 years, so in a couple more years it'll be 50 years that I've been actually have cutting experience. So, it doesn't make me the best barber in the world. It just make me an old ass barber. That's about it. And then, some of you OGs, get with me. Let's just chop it up. Let's talk about, the old days and how things used to run and versus how they run now. And I think that the younger barbers kind of keeps me young and keeps me on top and keeps me on point. But I feel like if you was the shit back then, you still are the shit now. You just don't know it. So, drop me a line and let me know what you guys want to talk about. And, I want to go back to having guests. I only had a few guests when I first started back in 2019 and 2020. So I want to, get back to those type of shows and, have something to say and not just talk about the same old, but really go in depth. Because we all definitely need to have a conversation on some of the issues, not the ones that we usually argue about on social media, but other stuff that we don't talk about. So let's talk about that. And also, I want to, touch a little bit about, having conflicts in the barbershop with customers that may not even be your customer, which, I had a couple incidents of myself like that. And I want to talk about that in my next episode and go more in depth. Should, shop owners, what should they do when you have a conflict in the shop where there could be an incident where somebody can get hurt? Should the barber, we all should be held accountable for our actions, of course, but sometimes, in some cases, things happen and people, things get heated and it can potentially get bigger than it should be. So we're going to talk about that in my next episode. So until next time, holla at your boy.